I was born January 10th, 1815, in Glasgow, Scotland. I lived with my mother, Helen Shaw, and my father, Hugh MacDonald. I was the third oldest of four siblings, William MacDonald, Margaret MacDonald, John Shaw MacDonald, and Louisa Jean MacDonald. In 1820, me and my family immigrated to Kingston in Upper Canada, where we lived with another family, but then moved into a store which my father ran. After just a couple of weeks of living there, my younger brother James was killed by a servant who was supposed to watch over him. Later, we once again moved to Hay Bay, west of Kingston, and once again my father ran a shop and it failed. During my time in Canada, I studied to be a lawyer. In 1833, I actually became a lawyer. I was only 18 and was managing a legal office. By the age of 19, I opened my own. My life was pretty good then, at least I thought it was. But then my personal life all went down in flames. In 1847, me and my wife Isabella had our first baby, John MacDonald. He unfortunately died 13 months later. In 1850, I had my second son, Hugh John. Thankfully, he survived, but Isabella didn't. 7 years after Hugh's birth, Isabella died. She had been very weak and sick after Hugh's birth. I was very upset and sad with these two losses. I began to drink very heavily, and it got me into tons of trouble. Back in 1843, I started my political career as a councillor for Kingston. 4 years later, I moved up to provincial politics when I was elected as the Conservative Party's member for Kingston in 1847. After the leader of the party retired in 1856, I became co-prime minister of the province of Canada. Later in 1867, I met Agnes MacDonald, and we had a daughter, and named her Margaret, who was also sick. Finally, in 1867, I became the first Prime Minister of the Dominion of Canada. So that's my story of my life. Hope you enjoyed! And today's John A. MacDonald Naked is...